Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your girl Ebony. I wanted to record a video and kind of follow up on one of the videos that I previously recorded, and actually, it was the one concerning my TEAS entrance exam. First off, if this is your first time seeing me, it's nice to meet you. Welcome in. I'm Ebony Williams, and this is a little bit of lifestyles, sharing about what goes on in the Williams household. If you are back, welcome back. Thank you so much. I'm trying to grow my channel. When you see this video, if you appreciate the information that I'm sharing, if you like the vibe and it's vibing well, please make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment, let me know what you think. But I did take my T's and I passed. So it is to get me into a school here in San Antonio, Texas, to do the LPN RN bridge. I'm doing it because, well, first off, I've been a nurse this month. January 2025 makes 11 years that I've been a nurse. I always wanted to be an RN, but the reason why I went the LPN route is once I relocated to Texas in 2012, August of 2012. I really wasn't familiar because I had been a medical assistant. I had been a medical assistant by that time, probably 17 years. And when I was a medical assistant, I had so much experience. I was a diagnostic tech in the laboratory, so I did specimen processing, I did phlebotomy, I did EKGs, I did microbiology. I would draw blood in the ER, I would draw blood on the floor in the hospital, go to mother baby, draw labs there, go to the nursery, do the PKU testing, things like that. So I wore multiple hats. I've worked at Planned Parenthood. I worked for a urologist group. So I was the treatment nurse. Yes, as a medical assistant, I had actually had my associate's degree as a medical assistant. My sister and I went to school for 24 months back in 95. So we went 2 years, got my associate's degree. So I was able to do a lot. As a treatment nurse, removing staples, removing sutures, removing drains from the male patients that had different things to their prostate, drains from their scrotums and things like that. Called in medication refills, return calls that was left on the voicemail for patients that had questions and things like that. I assisted in the robotic surgeries. I assisted with vasectomies. I assisted with the female patients that need to have bladder scans, mesh procedures done for like prolapsed bladders, rectums, things like that. Did a whole bunch of stuff, different cystoscopy things and all types of stuff. I worked family practice and I was a medical assistant for two heart and lung surgeons. So I had a lot of experience. So when I moved to Texas, I saw where they had an opportunity to be an LPN. So I'm like, oh, snap. Okay, so I don't have to go to school for 2 years to get my RN. I can go to school for a year, study, get green lighted to pass my NCLEX, and I can start getting my feet wet, getting some experience here in Texas since I had never been here before, just so I could see what it's like to be a nurse. LPNs are real nurses. So I know has been a lot of controversy, even when I was doing my clinicals for LPN. You know, people with opinions, they're like buttholes. Everybody's got one. But people saying, you know, LPNs are not going to be around. If you're an LPN, you won't have any real positions. You'll pretty much be stuck doing CNA work. Unfortunately, we're imperfect. In this life, there's always going to be people that are sick. RNs can't do everything. You know what I mean? Just like medical doctors can't do everything, which is why they have nurse practitioners, which is why they have physician's assistants. RNs can't do everything. You have to be able to split the duties and kind of like share the workload. So there's a place for everybody, a place for everything and everything in its place. So just like LPNs can't do everything, you have CNAs, you have, which is, you know, the certified nurses assistants, you have medical assistants, you have patient care techs, you know. So LPNs, unfortunately, will always have a place, kind of like fortunately, but unfortunately, because people are sick. But it's good that you have that, that variety. So it's not all just RNs. So don't worry about that. LPNs are being used in a lot of positions that they wasn't previously 10 years ago. And so things are continuing to change. There are some LPNs that make six figures, depending on their position, their state, things like that. So don't even worry. But that's what I was wanting. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. You pass the NCLEX, you get a license, you have to maintain it, you have to renew it. You get, what do you get? Quarterly reports from the Board of Nursing. And I always open up that newspaper and go to that list in the middle of the booklet or the middle of the newspaper to see what nurses is on there, just to make sure my name is not on there, because you just never know. People can do things and be with not the greatest of intentions. So, and then sometimes I like to see if I know anybody, which I have seen names on there, and I've known the nurses. I've seen nurses with their LPN license and their RN license on there, whether, they just been reprimanded, whether they surrendered their license, a lot of things. So I just like to make sure that my name is not on there, and just to see what's going on with the Board of Nursing. So medical assistants don't get those. CNAs don't get those. You know what I mean? So nurses get those. So no worries about that. But yeah, I always wanted to be a nurse. And so knowing that I could be an LPN, cool. My first job as an LPN that I got was at a veterans home here in Texas. I did that for 2 years because I wanted to make sure that I got my head to toe assessments down. I wanted to be able to deal with the geriatric community. And I know that's one of the tricky areas because usual signs and symptoms of a urinary tract infection with someone who has dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that is different in, like a middle-aged person. So certain things to look for. I did that for 2 years. Didn't have much room for growth. And so then I started signing up with multiple agencies, and I did acute rehab. I did LTAC, long-term acute care. So I had a lot of patients that was transitioned between the hospital and either going to a skilled nursing facility or being able to go home. But a lot of patients on trachs, a lot of patients on vents, a lot of wound vacs, a lot of IVs, TPNs, which stands for total parenteral nutrition. Patients that are on IV vitamin treatments, giving their GIs a rest, reviewing labs, talking to doctors, nurse practitioners, dialysis nurses, because a lot of the patients that were there had the dialysis nurses that would come in, and we had a room that had all of their equipment, and they would set the patients up and what medications to hold, which ones to make sure you give, things like that, assessing them and making your rounds and nurses' notes and monitoring for change in the level of the change in condition, level of consciousness, things like that. So it's very rewarding. My thing was just only doing it for 5 years, but life be lifing. Things happen. Unfortunately, my mother became sick. So my 5 years as an LPN turned into 11 years before I had the opportunity to go back to school and continue my education, because sadly my mother passed away March 8th, 2022. So now here we are in January 2025, and I'm actually preparing for that. Now, I was supposed to start my bridge program this month. I was supposed to start January 6th, 2025, but my bad, on December 18th, when there's a limited amount of communication between admissions and the student when you're not there in person. So a lot of things they try to do remotely. There's a lot of opportunity for lack of communication. So when I got my instructions as far as like student, financial aid and FAFSAs and stuff, if I was going to be paying out of pocket, if I was going to give me the assistance, because give it to me. Yeah. I'm a taxpayer. Let's get it. So the information came later. I ended up picking the wrong school location, so that delayed so they couldn't get everything together. I am not eligible for any Pell Grants because since they go 2 years prior, 2022, myself and my husband made too much money. So the only thing that I was able to receive was the federal money. I didn't get any Pell Grants. So, and it was like too much rushing and all of this stuff. I had missed orientation and I did not want to have my growth stunted. I wanted to make sure that I was able to go through the process. So I'm like, you know what? Let's not rush. Go ahead. So I'm going to start, I think it's April 7th, and 15 months. And then I'll be preparing for the RN. I think this is called Next Gen, or these RNs. So that's cool. So I don't even see why they could not accept my HESI A2 scores, which I was excited because the college that I was going to go to, I think it was university, in 2022, because apparently after my mom passed away, 5 months after my mom passed away, I took the HESI A2 from home remotely, and passed. Didn't study. Don't remember really taking it. But that college was only going to accept the results for 2 years. So now I'm going to a different school, or I'm going to be going to a different school, and I think it's good for, don't get me the line, I can't remember, but it was more than 2 years, which surprised me. But the only thing is the scores that they accept for the HESI A2, in order for them to accept it, I made less than that, which I thought it was pretty dope because first of all, I was going through the immediate grief of losing my mother, and I didn't study. So this was just experience, knowledge from when I went to LPN school. So I thought it was pretty good. I needed to have 77 for them to accept it. And I think my scores was, I don't remember. I passed, but it wasn't a 77. So when you take the TEAS test, I believe they accept a 50 something, and still I passed. But I'm sitting here like, the grade that you guys accept for the entrance exam, comparing HESI A2 to TEAS, the TEAS you accept, I think that she said either 50 or 52. But in order to accept my HESI scores, it had to have been at least a 77 for you guys to accept it. And I don't know. I don't get into it. I don't know what's the differences between the two, why the bar was set so high for them to accept the HESI A2 versus the TEAS, which was less. And I'll tell you, when I took the HESI A2, I do know I did not have to pay for it. But for the TEAS, I had to pay. And it was $40, I believe. I had to pay for that. So, but it is what it is. The process was similar. And the only difference is, I believe when I took the HESI, I got my scores almost immediately. Whereas with the ATI TEAS, the proctor, the nurse that was proctoring it, or the instructor that was proctoring it, locked my results. So I had to wait 2 days to get my results. And I was so annoyed. But I did pass, and I'm excited. The reason why I wanted to go back and finally get my RN, I know there's people that are LPNs for 15, 20 years, some that retire as LPNs, but for me personally, multiple reasons, because when I am in nurse mode, I take my job seriously. I love to do research. When I get a chance on a smooth shift, we never say the Q word, but on a smooth shift, I like to be able to look back through the patient's chart so I can read previous notes, see what happened, depending on how long the patient had been admitted. And I like to do research, so I am familiar with the, disease process, the diagnosis, like how this patient come to be where they are today, just their immediate past medical history, just so I have a better picture. Medications and things like that. If they're on antibiotics, when did they start, when they're going to be done, what dose we're on, their vitals, labs that go along with it, and things like that. So I've been mistaken for an RN. And we do a lot of things that RNs do. There are several things that RNs can do that LPNs can't do. But for the most part, you get paid pretty well. You get paid more being an RN, obviously. But I am interested in, because I'll tell you, I am a nurse entrepreneur now. So I have a digital business. I'm supplementing my income. I am in the process of creating at least 30 streams of income, because a lot of the things that my family was planning on doing after my mom received her kidney transplant and was cleared by her nephrologist and the transplant center to be able to travel, we was planning on moving. I apologize if my camera is, my holder is in the office, and I'm pretty comfortable in this recliner, and I don't feel like getting up. So hopefully I'm not making anybody motion sick by moving the camera around. But I have to get my tripod, and that's packed away too. But anyway, we were planning on relocating to the Bahamas, and then during hurricane season, move back to the States. And then if my mom had her follow-up appointments, we were going to stay in the area and just travel. I was setting up, or in the process of setting up, remote work. So it didn't matter where I was working from. I would be able to earn income, and I could still spend time with my family. So that has led me to the digital space. And there's multiple things that I'm doing in the process of learning how to be a mentor and a coach within the digital online space, and then also helping people start their own online businesses. And then I also have another stream of income with digital products already done for you with the master resale rights and private label, where you're able to either create your own ebook, but then you can start right off with earning money. My thing is becoming comfortable enough to start like storytelling, sharing my story, being more comfortable with being on camera and talking like that, so that I can relate to more people, and people can relate to my story, and they feel connected, and those ones that are like-minded and want the same things will reach out so that they can start their own business as well, 100% profit for themselves. But being able to build that community and be able to impact people and help us live as comfortably as possible, finance wise, because this world is crazy and things happen. So me continuing my journey and getting my RN license when it comes to writing, nurse writing, which is another stream of income, you're able to get paid more as a registered nurse. And so this goes along with my plan, my vision board, if you would, as far as accomplishments. But my ultimate goal is to, before 2025 is over, is being able to pay off 60% of my and my husband's debt. My goal is to replace my annual income monthly, but then also to share and conduct webinars and get to the point of where we're traveling. And I'll have a group of entrepreneurs, and they don't all have to be nurses, but people that are like-minded, that have the same goal, and people that I've been able to share this business opportunity or these business opportunities with. They're able to join, and then we can travel and share our stories with people and help to encourage them to do the same thing, and kind of like build this massive community of entrepreneurs. You still keep your full-time job if that's what works for you, because I don't suggest anybody just up and quit. But being able to have your career and then supplement your income with a side hustle that's legitimate, but then how it gets your wheels turning so you're able to monetize your life and earn more money, which is why now I'm finally starting to record videos and upload them to my YouTube channel, or get videos that's already on my phone that I previously recorded and upload them to my YouTube channel, so that I can also monetize via YouTube, monetize TikTok, monetize Facebook, learn how to make money on Snapchat, Threads, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all types of stuff, X. So it's helping me out in many ways. Oh, and me and two of my homegirls have a podcast. It's called Sporadic Flow Podcast, and that's sporadic with a D, Sporadic, the Sporadic Flow Podcast. And we have a YouTube page. Check us out, subscribe, watch some of our videos. We have 22 episodes. So we've been doing this for 5 months now. Absolutely love it. It's Sporadic Flow Podcast, nurses inspiring the community, nurses empowering the community. We like to bring a lighter aspect to the medical field, different diagnoses, different topics, and we make it interesting. We make it fun, and combined, we have over 30 years of nursing experience. It's myself, which I'm Ebony, Teresa, and Zaline. So check us out and share it also with your friends and your family. But then we also have Sporadic Flow After Dark, where we talk about medical topics, but it's kind of a different mode or a different lane, if you will, because we've had 3 episodes so far of those. The first one was Kanye West and how he's addicted to whippets. He's been addicted to whippets since 2018. Our second episode, we was talking about Wendy Williams and her lymphedema, as well as her aphasic dementia. The third episode that we recorded on Sporadic Flow After Dark was Take That, Mr. Take That, P. Diddy. It's fun, it's interesting, it's a good way to share your views, share resources, be an outlet, a way to form a community, a way to have an audience and to grow, and also a way to monetize. So we're also working on that, but then also to share these tips with people, because we have a lot of gatekeeping in the world. We have a lot of people who only want themselves to succeed. And so to be a part of a community, to be a part of a business where you're empowering and then you're also sharing different tools and avenues to people that are interested and want to improve their lives, they take action and they're able to benefit from it. So that's pretty dope. So I appreciate that. But being an RN, I'm able to earn more money. And then you have 11 years as an LPN, and then you bridge over to an RN and you're able to make a better impact. LPNs make an impact as well, but depending on certain things that you want to do, unfortunately, people look at credentials. And so I'm just trying to take care of my family. I have 3 adult children now. I have 3 grandchildren. 1 fur baby. I have a 10-year-old all-white Maltese poodle. And I've been married. Next month will be 8 years. And so it's things that I want to do. But being able to create that lifestyle, being able to share your story with others, and then reach out to those, or have those not even reach out to others, but put the information out there. And those that are interested, reach out to you and say, hey, how can I join? How can I do the same thing? How can I get started? It's all about educating. And I'll tell you, online courses sell for upwards of $10,000. Okay, so people are able to flip and make some real money. And so now I'm wanting to do the same. So I have multiple business opportunities. No, I'm not selling anything that's for $10,000, although we could. You very well could. But I like to help people take care of their families, improve their lifestyles, because when people are able to reduce stress, reduce anxiety, that brings your blood pressure down, helps to regulate blood sugars, it promotes a healthier heart. You're able to reduce those cortisol levels. We know cortisol increases anxiety, stress increases belly fat increases, that adipose tissue around our organs, which is the fat that doctors can't liposuck. So There's multiple benefits for that. And then being able to share it. So that's exactly why I'm here. That's why I am continuing my education so that I can become an RN. Will I continue and become, get my bachelor's, get my nurse practitioner, my master's degree? Probably not. Because the lifestyle that I want to live does not include being in school for another 8 years. Or not another year, for the next 8 years, because I'm 47 years old. I don't want to spend the rest of my life attached to a brick and mortar. Excuse me. So this is what I'm thinking about. My life changed when my mom died. It's been a rough transition for me personally. I do feel like parts of my brain has died. It's been affected. It's traumatic. And it alters your chemicals. And then plus now I'm getting to the point to where I'm becoming perimenopausal. So life is progressing, and it seems like life goes by quicker now than it did when we were kids. And so it's a lot, but I see myself as being a successful businesswoman. I see myself as networking with like-minded individuals, even ones that are curious and you have questions. Please ask me. Anything that I'm a part of, any community, whether it's my Facebook page or if it's my TikTok, if it's here on YouTube, LinkedIn is a healthy environment, a safe space. I don't do any hate talking, no mean girls, mean guys, anything like that. And so I'm trying to put out into the atmosphere energy that I want to receive. So like we've been taught as kids, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. There's enough negativity and hatred in the world. You know what I mean? And so that's not what I'm trying to foster. So I just want to be able to show my face more. I want to be able to share more thoughts, be able to grow my community. I want to network and get the love in return that I give out. So yeah, I'll be able to start RN school April 7th, 2025. But in the meantime, besides doing shift work, if you want some more information on some of the agencies, and some of them extend past Texas, because that's where I am, let me know in the comments. I'll record a video and give you some information on that. If you have any questions about any digital products, if you want to have your own legitimate, high-ticket, global, international, online digital business, hit me up. I do have that information and the description on my profile. I am learning how to put links in bios, links in the description, which I will do that. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. So I just wanted to give this update. And I do encourage interactions in the comments. I am going to be adjusting and getting used to interacting on YouTube, and I look forward to the future and what this holds. Sky's the limit on how many subscribers I get. I do want to monetize this page. But some of the things that I'm going to be sharing is going to be my nursing journey. My daughter is 20, she'll be 27 in a few days. She works for Boeing. She's also a licensed cosmetologist, but she's going to be going back to school. She's starting school in a few days. Actually, before she turns 27, she's going to be going to mortuary school. So she wants to be a mortician. So I will be sharing my thoughts because she's like, Mom, I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm not a mortician. But as far as like anatomy, physiology, gross anatomy, things like that, of course, I'm here to support you. So I'll be sharing some of her stories and my thoughts on having a child. Well, I would say child because she's a young lady, but having a young lady as a daughter, having a 27-year-old that's going to college, to be a mortician. And so that will be interesting. If you guys are interested in that and you look forward to that, let me know. And this is also going to be something that we're going to be talking about on the podcast as well, because my two homegirls know about it and they like, oh yeah, like they can't wait. I'm like, yeah, we've already had my daughter on the show just to give the younger generation, you know, perspective on, we was talking about feminine hygiene, feminine products, and how things have changed. And so certain things that she uses when it's that time of the month, you know, versus what we're not used to using. So she wanted to speak for her generation that she claims, but she doesn't claim at the same time. So it'll be pretty dope to have her on again. I'm talking about mortuary school. So I will be sharing that as well. Yeah. And so we're going to be talking about all things health, wealth, and relationships. We're going to be talking about just coping mechanisms. We're going to be talking about supplementing incomes. We're going to be talking about healthcare aspects, just a whole bunch of things. Just, you know, enjoying life, enjoying each other's company, being able to share information. Because I'll tell you, with nursing, with my digital businesses, my digital products, learning how to trade stocks, but low risk stocks that are, it's called covered calls. I have a mobile DNA business. I'm getting that ebook prepared to put onto my storefront for my digital products, having that ebook. If you're interested in having a business that you can resell over and over and over again as one whole piece, or break it apart and resell the ebooks, the planners, the prayer books and journals and all of that, let me know. If you're interested in having an international business where you have high ticket returns and you learn how to improve on your attraction marketing, affiliate marketing, running ads on at least 7 social platforms, got that for you. And just, yeah, the Lotus community is what I'm using as far as like the encouraging, uplifting portion of my YouTube channel and the things that this nurse entrepreneur is doing. Yeah, and I'm also writing an autobiography. And in my digital products business, there's modules and information and contacts and resources that will help me or you if you're interested in self-publishing, things like that. So it's so much. So, and then I'm gonna get to the point to where, you know, my husband and I, when it comes time for us to buy our RV, bringing you guys on that, recording when we go traveling, because I want to be able to vlog. I want to be able to share an experience for myself and share it with you guys. God's beautiful earth, his creations, and to be able to vlog, and then some other things, self-improving myself, veneers, and a few other things that I have in the works for myself as well. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos. I'm seeing myself grow as I'm becoming more and more comfortable with talking on camera. I have to finish A Tale of Two Sisters. And then, yeah, just watching myself grow. So don't be shy. Interact with me. Let your girl Ebony know what's going on, how you feeling. What do you do for a living? If you are a nurse, if you're thinking about being a nurse, if you're thinking about being a medical assistant, if you are thinking about transitioning from MA to LPN, LPN to RN, if you've already done it, let me know how you're doing. And then shout out to all of my nurses, my healthcare community, my first responders, people on the front line. And yeah, let's interact, keep in touch, let's support each other, let's grow together, let's encourage each other and build a community where we upbuild and not tear down. You guys have a great Tuesday, stay safe, and I look forward to the interactions in the comments. Stay tuned to the next video.